Assalamu alaikum. I'm Arwa. We'll talk about female reproductive physiology. This is the second lecture. In this lecture, we discuss physiology of puberty. Learning objectives to define puberty and its associated emotional, physical, reproductive changes. Explain the role of hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, specifically in regulating reproductive function. Detail the sequence of physical changes occur. Identify developmental stage, standard stage, and recognize abnormalities of puberty like precocious or delayed puberty. Puberty defined as a stage of physical maturation by which individuals become physiologically capable of sexual reproduction. The exact mechanism is unknown, but there is many factors influence the onset of puberty. These factors including race, as in black there is early onset of puberty earlier than white people. Hereditary or genetic factors, body weight and exercise, as increased body weight or body mass index associated with early onset of puberty. Excessive exercise and athletes have delayed puberty. So, puberty associated with marked physical, emotional, and reproductive change. We'll talk about these changes: physical, emotional, and reproductive. Physiology of puberty. The onset of puberty characterized by increase in secretion of follicular stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone driven by gonadotrophin-releasing hormone from hypothalamus. Hypothalamus secrete gonadotrophin-releasing hormone, which stimulates anterior pituitary gland to secrete FSH and LH. These hormones, FSH and LH, act on the ovary to secrete estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen and progesterone are responsible for these physical, emotional, and reproductive changes occur during puberty. During childhood or before puberty, LH and FSH secreted from anterior pituitary gland, but in a small concentration, which does not affect systemic concentration and no apparent stimulation to the gonads. At puberty, there is increase in pulsatile frequency and amplitude of secretion of these gonadotrophins, FSH and LH, from pituitary gland. These hormones trigger follicular growth, folliculogenesis, and steroidogenesis in the ovary. Steroidogenesis or sex hormone released from the ovary in a form of estrogen and progesterone responsible for physical change occur at that time. Also, adrenal androgens contribute to these changes occur at puberty. First, we'll talk about physical change, also called secondary sexual characters. In humans, there is a primary sexual characters and secondary sexual characteristics. Okay? Primary sexual characteristics, example of internal and external reproductive structures present at birth. While secondary sexual characteristics develop later in life during puberty. The development of both primary and secondary sexual characteristics controlled by sex chromosomes at fertilization. As we mentioned earlier in the first lecture, the SRY gene, which stands for sex-determinant region in Y chromosome, their presence or absence of SRY gene determines the type of gonad, either developed in ovary in female baby or developed into testes in male fetus. Secondary sexual characters are physical, non-reproductive features emerged during puberty driven by sex hormones or sex chromosomes. So, secondary sexual characters is a physical features, not related to reproductive capacity of that person. The physical changes occur in puberty are breast development called thelarch, pubic and axillary hair growth called adrenarche, growth spurt, and onset of menstruation, which is the last to be occur, called menarche. The first physical sign of puberty is thelarche. Usually occur 2 to 3 years before menarche. The mean age of menarche is 12.8 years. So the first sign is thelarch and the last sign is menarche. Other physical changes, example, body shape altered at puberty in female due to fat distribution, which is mainly distributed in hip region and result in broad hips. Hair growth, as we say, pubic and axillary hair, which is in both male and female. The hair growth depends mainly on adrenal androgens more than estrogen secreted from ovary. Skin changes, as there is an increase in oil production or sebaceous gland activity, which is lead to acne formation. Body odor due to increased sweat gland activity. In addition to increased level of hypothalamic pituitary adrenal and gonadal hormones, there is increase in growth hormone secretion, which is lead to pubertal growth spurt. Pubertal development described by tiny stage, which is developed by pediatric endocrinologist James Tanner, and it describes breast and pubic hair development, are often referred to as Tanner stage from stage 1 to stage 5. Tanner stage, also called sexual maturity rating or SMR, is a 5-stage classification of sexual maturity based on both breast and pubic hair development, used in pediatrics to track physical development. The stages range from Tanner stage 1, which is pre-pubertal, to Tanner stage 5, which is the adult form. Regarding Tanner stage for breast development, stage 1 pre-pubertal, in which no glandular breast tissue with flat areola. Stage 2 or thelarche, there is a breast bud, small amount of glandular tissue, and areola start to be wider. In stage 3, there is increased breast elevation without separation of areolar contour. In stage 4, areolar development start and form secondary mound, also called double scoop, projecting from the breast contour. In stage 5 or adult stage, breast reach final size. Areola return to the general breast contour with hyperpigmentation, papillae development, and nipple protrusion. This picture demonstrates these stages in details. Regarding pubic hair development, in stage 1, no hair, and for pre-pubertal stage. In stage 2, there is a small amount of long downy or vellus hair. Downy hair is a light-colored, short, and fine hair. In stage 3, there is scant terminal hair. Terminal hair differ from vellus hair in that it will be darker, coarse, and longer. In stage 4, terminal hair cover the pubic region, while in stage 5, the adult form, the terminal hair extend beyond the inguinal crease and into the thigh. After discussing physical change, this emotion change occur at puberty and mood swings. Regarding brain development, the emotional center or limbic system develop faster than decision-making center, and so there is a tense emotional response with lower impulse control. A common behavior is sensitivity and irritability, loneliness, increased sensitivity to stress. Teens feel and increased sensitivity to stress. Other than emotional change, also there is an impact of physical change occur on mental health, such as rapid physical change occur. Example, growth spurt, acne, and weight gain can affect body image and self-consciousness. Puberty per se, either early or late, cause unwanted attention, depression, and anxiety to teenagers. Social comparisons, as teens often compare their development to their peers, leading to feeling of inadequacy. The third change we'll discuss is reproductive change. Ovaries increase in size and begin steroidogenesis and gametogenesis. Steroidogenesis is the production of estrogen and progesterone. Gametogenesis is maturation of oocyte into mature ovum. Also, the uteruses grow from infantile size to adult pear-shaped size. Second sexual characters mentioned earlier and menarche with the last sign occur. Menarche defined as the onset of first menstrual cycle, typically 2 years after thelarche. Abnormalities or pathology associated with puberty, either precocious puberty or delayed, as the puberty normally follow reliable pattern and sometimes can be predictable. So we can define the precocious puberty as the onset of pubertal change before the age of 8 years in girls or 9 years in boys. On the other hand, delayed puberty defined according to secondary sexual characteristics appearance. If there is no signs of secondary sexual characteristics by the age of 14 years, it's defined as delayed puberty, or if there is a normal development of secondary sexual characters but no menstruation by the age of 16. This is termed delayed puberty. This is the end of this lecture, and the next we'll talk about menstrual cycle. Thank you.